In this video, I'll show you my actual learning process of making these buttons and badges. I was hired to teach a workshop to show how to make these, so this is actually my first time owning a button press. The reviews had mentioned there being issues making the larger badges and even the smaller ones, only the medium ones seem to work out as described. I ordered this particular model because it said it worked with cardstock, and I have so much cardstock left over, and it also said it would work with fabric, so I thought that was cool. But alas, that turned out not to be accurate. In this video, I'm basically just troubleshooting the larger and smaller size buttons since the medium ones turned out fine. I tried two different thicknesses of paper. So the cardstock, when punched at the large and small sizes, did not work. So I had gotten some origami paper from Daiso. I cut them out into the appropriate sizes for the buttons, and I was using that as a base because I know that the origami paper did work. This is an example. It's just a sheet of origami paper pressed and the back sealed fine. But again, that was just one sheet of origami paper. And for this class, I wanted to teach a method of collage. So I was curious to see if I could manipulate it to include some cut paper elements. And I did ultimately figure it out. So let's just take, for instance, on the smaller buttons. This button I really like. I cut it out of a supermarket flyer. It's little apples. This worked out fine. The flyer paper is super thin, so that worked out great. So I was like, yay, something works. Let's try one level up by incorporating some cardstock elements. Next, this is origami backing. I added a little star that is cardstock just to see if it would seal, and luckily it did. Yeah, through all the trial and error, as usual, we came to a result that I'm actually happy with. Yeah, so I have a bunch of paper punches that I use to cut out different shapes. I got this like kit mini paper punches. I also have some larger sizes, little flower shape and a little music note. What I like about the paper punch is you can look underneath to see like where exactly on the image will be cut out, so you can like strategize it more than just arbitrarily cutting out a sheet with a bunch of shapes. I also used these like supermarket flyers. When I first moved here, I was really into them. I have made paintings of them. Every week, someone goes around through the neighborhood and they roll them up in like a cone shape, and then they stuff them in between the fencing of all the apartment units. I also think it's cool that you can have a pin that you can wear that has the price on it, because it's almost saying like, I cost this much money. It's silly. Like if you accidentally forgot to take the price tag off. Anyways, I invite you to come along with me on this learning process. This is my first batch of them, and I was filming, so I just wanted to basically just test paper thicknesses. The collages aren't to the degree that I would like them. I will be more intentional with them moving forward. So let's get started, and I hope you enjoy. Here are the different types of papers I wanted to try for this project. I started out with these cardstock cutouts, but they turned out to be too thick. Next, I cut out a bunch of construction paper circles. They're slightly thinner than the cardstock, but I also had issues with this weight. In the end, the origami paper was the most successful with this particular button maker for all sizes. This optical foil paper is really fun. The Cricut works well on the heavier weight paper, but not so much with the origami. Weeding them off the mat caused them to curve. These are the origami paper shapes from the punch tools. I wanted to have a variety of pre-cut shapes for the workshop. These are cutouts from the supermarket flyers. This is how they're typically arranged, apartment to apartment. These are cut shapes from my book collection, a space background for the butterflies, a sunset for the stars. Here is an Arctic scene. You can see the text on the back. Various nature backgrounds. I like that it reads as a soft gradient. These are some cutouts I made to construct my bookmarks earlier this year. The strawberry is cut out of a photograph image and I glued it to green cardstock. Here we have some Korean stationery and landscape cutouts. I picked up all of these stickers in Sunset Park. Chinatown had so many cute, interesting options. I wanted to provide these for the class to use. Now let's begin. Here are stencils of the visible surface area of the button, not including the wraparound. I thought this was useful when planning out a design. I use these to trace within the circle backgrounds. This is origami paper. We will try the thinnest option first, then work our way up. Playing around with arrangements, deciding what elements we want to use. I use this UHU glue stick most often. This punches from the supermarket flyers, so it's very thin when layered on top. 1 down, 3 to go. A bit out of order, but next I will try with a construction paper background, which is slightly thicker. A Bustelo flyer cutout. The third I'll use construction paper again, but with thicker collage elements, including a book cutout. The plaid is origami paper again, but trying cardstock elements to see if the thickness will work. Finishing this collage with another thin layer of cutouts. Here are the 4 collages ready to be punched. We'll start with the thinnest variation first. Load the backing piece, then place the collage on top. Next is a piece of mylar. Always check to make sure there's only one piece because this will cause the button to jam. Swing around and press hard. Spin the base out. Between steps 1 and 2, you will need to change the setting from A to B on this particular model. Now adding the pin back. The actual pin portion is facing down. Push down hard once more. Spin out, and now the moment of truth. It came out great. The back is completely sealed. The second option is cardstock on origami paper, which is slightly thicker. It's helpful to align the pin with the line markers on the base. The mylar is coming up a bit on the edge, but it's not that bad. Next is the construction paper with flyer cutout. This one seems to have a similar result with the mylar peeling a bit around the edge. I doubt this one will work since it's the thickest option, but let's see it through. And yes, unfortunately the mylar did not seal at all. Well, now we know. So in the end, this one worked great. This one worked pretty well. This is on construction paper and the back is coming undone. And this one didn't work at all. So let's just stick to the origami paper for the small buttons. Moving on to collaging the larger buttons. The orange and blue circles are construction paper, while the red and yellow are origami. I traced the larger circle here as well to visualize the surface area. The stars are punched from book photographs. Here we are just playing around and adding elements to vary the thickness of each. I rushed these a bit because I could really spend hours trying to make an arrangement I'm pleased with. This is what the button maker looks like from the side. Here we will start with the thinnest option first. Again, make sure that the mylar sheets are separate. Don't forget to change the settings from A to B if you're using this model. The back came out pretty good, so now we know it will work with the thinner materials on the larger buttons. So now let's try a step up. The second origami option with the thicker cardstock pieces. It seems to be good. It's buckling a bit, but it is intact. Now we'll try the construction paper options. Just to clarify, I purchased this button maker because it would arrive in time for the workshop. If I had time, I would have ordered a more professional button maker. It looks good to me. Okay, that worked. Let's try the last one with construction paper and slightly thicker elements. I just want to rule out what works and what doesn't. This one also came out pretty great, sealed on the back. All of these tests work, we just need to avoid cardstock. Here are the final 8 button tests. Thank you as always for watching these videos. Please like and subscribe, and until next time.